Warning! The following audio may contain coarse language and other material that may not be suitable for a younger audience. Listener discretion is advised. Also, we may spoil everything and anything, so you have been warned.
Let's get this going! We're the A-team now.
Alright.
Yeah.
We'll act like the A-team.
It's nothing
we know
but
what we're
the
doing.
A-team.
Dun
The
dun dun
A-team.
dun 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 dun.
It's been a while since the A-team have been together, so we got to live up to expectations, guys.
It has been a long time. Last time we were together, you were caught in the middle of Hurricane England.
Hurricane
was
England,
so
which was
funny.
basically like a tree fell over, and then everyone freaked the fuck out.
The city goes dark.
We were just like,
Literally,
we're like, what just happened to Garn? Is he okay? Oh my
think-
Okay,
goodness.
so,
Yeah.
Alright.
if everybody's recording, Jeanne, go.
I'm recording.
Hello, good day and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our wonderful
Wait, stop
podcast.
everything!
Why?
Sorry, I just realized I was peaking really badly, so I had to maybe sort out the gain on my mic, which I forgot to do.
Well, that's your fucking fault, Garnt.
I'm sorry.
Fucking deal with it.
Continue. Ignore.
I need a new intro, because all I do is copy Tristan's.
Make it one up.
Well, there we
That's
go.
what
We
I
just
do.
made an intro.
Alright, and that was our intro to the newest PodTaku.
Oh my
I'm
god,
Jeanne
Jeanne, you
from
are so shitty!
This is the shit. So the intro is me going, "Stop everything, change
Hold
gain."
the presses.
Yes.
We need to fix gain.
Well,
I wish I could fix gain, but I can't right now. 'cause
Well,
I'm using-
Jeanne, since this is the intro,
Yeah.
you know, we don't know who's in this podcast.
Yes.
Who's in this podcast,
well,
Jeanne?
I was getting there before I got caught off Garnt. So with me today, I have Gigguk from the Anime Zone,
Sup, guys?
Tristan from Glass Reflection,
Yo.
and Holden from HoldenReviews.
Happy late Halloween, everyone.
Yes, yeah,
Happy very late Halloween.
yeah.
Happy late Halloween.
It will
That's
be.
totally when we're recording this.
Every day's
Not.
Halloween when you're at the club and you're a girl and you're dressed like a slut. Every day's Halloween. Holden 2013.
Holden. So first, we'll start with roll call, and
Wait, before we start with roll call,
yeah,
Yes.
and what we've been watching,
yeah.
I have something I want to talk about actually,
Okay.
which I find.
Oh, do
quite
you,
interesting.
Garnt?
Yes,
Do
I
tell.
because
We are
if
very,
you-
very interested.
Yes, well, so I recently went to MCM Expo in London.
Woo.
Which,
London.
It's kind of like the Comic-Con of England, basically.
Yeah.
And so attending MCM Expo was some key players in Studio Wit, who,
Yeah.
if you don't know who Studio Wit are, they made this little-known anime that got known recently called
Attack on Titan!
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
Yes. So the people who were there were George Wada, who is the studio president and producer for Attack on Titan, Ryotaro Makihara, and Katsuhiko Kitada, who was the animation director for Attack on Titan. I'm sure
Brilliant.
I've
Nice.
really fucked up their names there.
Yeah, it's okay.
But,
It's alright.
Yeah, it's okay. We do that all the time.
Okay, so it went to a Q&A session, and it is an interesting fact that, you know that Studio Wit were part of Production IG before.
Yeah,
Yes, they're subsidiary.
they're an offshoot.
Yeah, their subsidiary who decided they wanted to break off, not completely, but just become more independent so they can do better stuff. So they've worked on the team who are working on Attack on Titan have worked on previous projects before with Tetsuo Araki and everything, because it's like they're the same team, if you get what I mean. So the question came up about what their favorite project that they had ever worked on was before.
Yeah.
It's an interesting. I found it interesting that they all said the same thing. They all
It was a
said
unanimous. Wow, what
It was
was it?
unanimous about the same project that they worked on was by far their favorite, and it wasn't Attack on Titan. Interestingly
Little
enough,
Witch Academia?
It was Guilty Crown.
I knew you were going to say that. Like, I was like, I know they're going to say Guilty Crown because it is an animator's dream.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wait until Tristan stops.
I know, right?
And you know what, Holden, you agree with me when I say this. That makes so much sense.
That makes so much sense. It never crossed my mind that it wouldn't be Guilty Crown. Yeah. Because that makes sense from just the point of view. Because it was the most fun.
It was by far the most fun. And despite how many problems it had, it was so fun to watch. And okay,
it just validates that they were having fun while they were making it.
And another interesting fact about Guilty Crown was the main character Shu. Okay, apparently when they're writing it, or whoever's writing it, Shu's character is entirely based on Tetsuo Araki. Shu is Tetsuo Araki in their own words.
That's amazing.
I am not surprised.
Wow,
that's awesome. Guilty Crown got so much better for me, even more. And I already love Guilty Crown.
Now I fucking hate Tetsuo Araki.
Yeah, I entirely want to rewatch Guilty Crown now, just because I know that.
From the perspective of Tetsuo Araki. Yeah. Oh, that'd be so
Now
weird.
I should just watch Guilty Crown for the first time. Because I fucking haven't got to it yet.
Well, you don't need to rush.
No, it's good, isn't
then
it?
Then again, will you ever take my words?
No, I need to rush.
You need to rush to watch it.
Rush.
Gar, wouldn't you agree? It's really good. It's really fun.
It's so much entertainment. I wouldn't say it's good.
Well, after I watch it, we'll come back and we'll see if it's me and Jeanne versus you two, or if it's a 3 on Jeanne again.
It's probably going to be a 3 on Jeanne.
Probably.
Actually, I don't know.
Most likely.
Because it's normally a 3 on Jeanne.
I remember when Jeanne liked it so much, she made a video on it expressing how much she liked it. What a bipolar bitch.
Were the days.
I remember when I was writing my review for Guilty Crown, and I was so depressed that I thought so low of the show that I ended up drinking and getting drunk over. Do you remember that,
I remember this.
Yeah, I remember Jeanne coming on Skype one day and going, God, can you check my review of Guilty Crown, please? And I go, yeah, sure. And Jeanne, are you right? God, I got a confession to make. I've been drinking. Guilty Crown made me so depressed.
It really did. Guilty Crown was one of the most disappointments for me. The
most disappointments.
The most disappointments. You're English, man.
No, Jeanne, I don't understand how it could be disappointing for you, because
I don't either.
It's like, it wasn't as if the ending was just, it's amazing, and the ending was just ass or something like that. It was more like,
no, it was all really consistent.
It was very consistent, especially in the second half.
Consistently bad?
No, it was consistently good. It's entertaining as all hell.
Entertainment, but it was like, if you're complaining about the writing or the characters, then yes, that was consistently bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what you were expecting from the ending, because it was already a train wreck when it came to the plot points and everything already. Like,
no, I thought it was great until like episode 10 or 11, and then it just took like 180-degree turn.
It's funny because that's literally my favorite point in the entire show.
I know, because
I agree.
That is the best part of the entire show, is when it goes complete 180. It's unexpected. It's everything that I wanted to see that I wasn't expecting. Was really fun. And now that I know it's Tetsuo Araki...
Right, I mean, who expects shit from Gold?
Now that I know that it's supposed to be Tetsuo Araki, I'm like, what?
Now that I think about it, the best directed scenes in Guilty Crown were the scenes revolving around Shu and his character. Like, that part where he just freaked out.
Yeah.
That was such a well-directed scene, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. If anything, it shows his direction.
As one who hasn't seen Guilty Crown yet, is Shu more of a Mary Sue because it's Tetsuo Araki than, say, anyone from Sword Art Online?
No, he's broken is what he is, if I had to describe him in one word.
Yeah,
Shu's a very broken individual.
Yes, he goes through a lot of, let's say, stages in the show.
Yes. Confusion, blind love.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Shu uses confusion. It's super effective.
Yeah, I would say that.
I think everything used on Shu was super effective.
I don't
Especially-
know. I mean, I didn't like Shu's character, so
Isn't Tetsuo Araki living the dream though?
He is.
It's just like basically, he just basically inserted himself into an anime as the main character.
That's so weird. I never heard that it was supposed to be him.
I wonder why.
Well, to be fair, that probably happens a lot, but nobody fucking admits it. So, does it really matter?
I think that's like what Hideaki Anno said once, that he based Shinji off of himself. Or Gendo, at least. It was something like that. I think it's very common, yeah. I agree with Tristan. I think a lot of writers project themselves on their characters. That's just the hand of the writer, I guess.
I guess it's just because you write about things you can relate with, and
Yes. What better relation than yourself?
yeah, I think it just naturally comes out. I mean, I can definitely see if Hideki Anno was going through fucking depression, that he could very easily have projected himself onto Shinji. Because, like, there's this point, if anyone goes to depression and they watch the final few episodes of Evangelion,
The last episode.
and it just makes perfect sense for some reason, and then you rewatch it and you're just like,
You don't,
What the fuck?
You don't remember what you saw at that point in time, is what it is. I remember you watch it, and it makes all the sense in the world, and then you rewatch it at a better time in your life, when you're not depressed, and it just makes bugger all sense again. It's weird, but I think that you can definitely see the hand of the artist in some cases.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Going on to a different topic, like there are some anime that I don't know if it's more amazing than I thought it was, because I was just in the perfect mood. Like to me, when I watch Karo no Kyoukai, okay, I would say I was in the perfect fucking mood to watch that. And now that I think back to it, it was like, to me, when I watched it, I had the feeling that this was like a fucking masterpiece, and it was the greatest anime I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I would feel if I were to rewatch it.
The thing is I was a similar thing with me. How I was saving it for so long. I was like, I know the perfect moment to watch this. I'd say that there's some shows that are definitely different, because recently, building off of that, I was recently, even last night, rewatching Code Geass R2. Specifically episodes 23 to 25, which is the final RE, is what it's called.
Oh, yes.
That so
part.
I was rewatching it after not watching it for about 3 years. I can't remember the last time I actually watched a full episode of R2.
Yeah.
And it was so like I don't know if it was like a spitting image of what I imagined. Because, one, the first thing right off the bat, I was like, wow, some of these scenes look really bad. I was like, these people either live in Candyland, or Ashford Academy was painted bubblegum pink for a really weird reason.
It's just, Holden, it's funny because I was rewatching Code Geass as well, and I was just like, why the fuck is everything so bright? And it's just like...
I don't know if Clamp was just like, this needs to be set in Candyland, or we're not going to make these characters. But
Candyland!
It looks like a motherfucking Candyland. And what was so weird is that was one of the first things I realized. And the second thing that I realized was like, I always knew there were so many characters in Code Geass, but I didn't realize how much I loved all of them until I watched it.
Yeah, no. Nah. There are some characters I don't like.
I literally forgot that the cast was like literally 80 people almost, I feel like.
There are a few
It's huge.
that need to die.
Yeah, there was.
Painful deaths.
There
one
was
of them
so many.
begins with an N and ends with an A.
Hina. But there were so many things that I just came back to me when I was watching it. And I remember seeing it.
They came back to him.
And it was that thing where I think that we can all feel this with certain animes we rewatch.
Yeah.
There were so many scenes that I literally just omitted from my memory, I feel like.
Yeah.
There was this scene where Lelouch was joining the Federation or something, or whatever the World Peace Organization, whatever nonsense. And he was holding a democratic thing at Ashford Academy. And he has all the people there, and they put up a shield around him so he can't use his Geass on anyone. And then all of a sudden, he just asks them, what trait do you find most admirable in a leader? And the girl says, honesty or pride. And he says, that's a good answer. And she says, well, what do you think? And he says, the ability to destroy. And he just crashes Lancelot through the ceiling. And he just holds all these diplomats at gunpoint and just says, let the democratic process begin. And I was like, I do not remember there ever being a gunpoint delegation or like electoral vote being held.
Yeah.
Like,
I only remember
scenes.
now. I only remember now
remember.
because you're talking about it, but
Yeah.
I completely omitted that from memory.
Yeah,
But, okay.
I didn't remember it at all.
Here's an interest. Here's a
I
question.
still don't remember that, actually. Man, it's been a while.
I don't remember that at all either. I felt like Holden just pulled that out of his
Episode
ass.
22. No, I'm not even joking. Episode 22. You can watch it.
Of R1 or R2?
R2.
R2.
Okay, that's why.
But here's a question for you guys: have there ever been any anime that you've rewatched, as like that you haven't watched in a long time, that you maybe have had a different experience with,
Yes.
on your second viewing?
Yes.
I
Just
think we all had this.
because I'm sure we have all had it, and if so, what anime was
Since
that
you
with?
brought it up, Garn, you go first, actually. I want to hear what you say.
Then I want to go last.
Well,
I'll
No.
go second.
Holden, you know that I'm going to say Evangelion just because I've been through
You don't have
every
to say-
single.
you don't have
And
to
he's
say
talked
that again.
about this before.
Yeah,
I've
you don't have
talked
to say
about
that
it
again.
before, but okay.
You can if you want, though. That's up to you.
Someone else go because I have talked about it quite a lot already.
My most recent experience in that was with Higurashi, mainly because Higurashi is a very mystery-based show that has this wonderful plot to it.
Did it get better or did it get worse?
Oh, that's a good
Tristan?
question, yeah.
No, I think it got better because, well,
Interesting.
because the first time you go through the show, you have no idea what the fuck's going on. Second time through the show, you know everything that's going on. Now, for me, it's been a number of years, which was good because I don't remember the fine details of it. But I knew basically what was going to happen. And then when little things kept popping up in the early episodes, I was like, because you don't pick up on them if you're not looking for them.
Yeah.
And then when you're looking for them, you notice them, and you're like, wow, that's really fucking smart.
It's interesting because actually a very similar show to that, which I'd never rewatched. I've rewatched it, but when I watched it, it felt like I was rewatching it. Was Fate Zero, because you know the outcome, like you know where it has to end up.
Yeah, because you've
Yeah.
seen Fate Stay Night, or
You're
you know
constantly trying to figure out like
the story.
how does this happen? Like how do they get to this point? That said, when I was rewatching Code Geass, Lelouch, when he was sitting at the water, he brought up the Zero Requiem, and I was like, oh! I was like, that's the thing where he does the thing. And but it has the sword. And I was so like, it was one of those things where it was the slight nuance that hinted towards such a bigger image. And I was like, holy shit. And I'm watching it, the first time, you'll never pick up on the intricacies. But watching it a second time, you can really get into the finer details of everything. Another one with this was Karo no Kyoukai, specifically the first couple films. Since they're played out of order, rewatching them has a lot of value in the way that I recommend watching it, which is in the release order. Overlooking View references the events of Remaining Sense of Pain, as far as like the bridge goes and everything, and its destruction. And there's all these slight details that I just really liked.
See, I'm so scared to rewatch Karo no Kyoukai because I'm scared that I won't find it as great as when I first watched it.
That's true.
I don't even know if it's
It's a
even
practical
possible.
fear. I mean,
Yeah. And it might actually happen.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's the thing.
you must admit the plausibility of it.
Because like you know this thing where, especially if you're a kid, where you have something that's magical and you don't want that feeling or that memory in your head to ever go away.
Yeah.
Because you've had experiences where the nostalgia goggles come off and you're just like,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
what the fuck is this shit?
And with Karo no Kyoukai specifically, it might be even worse, because I remember my first time watching Karo no Kyoukai, and I actually didn't really get into it until movie 2, because I watched movie 1 and I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't get it.
Why does she have arm that goes
Yeah, I was just like,
don't-
they're not explaining jack shit. And then when movie 2 came around, it would be really good. Now, as much as I actually really liked movie 1, not as much as like movie 5 or something, but I feel like if I was to go back, I would rewatch movie 1 and I would be like, nah, I'm not feeling it. And then I would just stop, even though I know that's not where the good parts are.
Right.
It's
I don't know. What about you, Jeanne?
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah.
Alright, well, here's my thing. I have never rewatched any series, and...
Not surprised.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, I don't want to, and I don't think it's a good idea. Only because I feel like when you
Okay.
watch a movie or you watch a show, you're supposed to have lasting impressions. The series itself is supposed to leave you with a message, or it's supposed to leave you with a sort of feeling. It's supposed to do something to you as a series, as a form of entertainment. And I feel like if you were to rewatch any show, there's a possibility that you will change your opinion or your feelings on the show. And I feel like that's not what shows are meant to do. I feel like they're supposed to be there once, viewed once, and appreciated once, so they have a lasting impression on you.
Disagree.
I think that is the non-artistic standpoint of viewing art.
No, I disagree because there have been many shows, not just anime, that I've actually found I enjoy more with every rewatching.
Yes, I was
Firefly
about to
is
say.
an example that I
Fight
like
Club,
to bring
man.
up because
Fight Club.
I watch Firefly like once a year or so,
Oh my
and
God,
I feel
Firefly.
like I
So-
like
and
it
then you
more
watch,
every year.
Serenity after that? Or...
Yeah, of course.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know. I
love-
feel like the only things I would really rewatch is things that are supposed to get me in the spirit of, like, certain seasons, I guess. Like, during Christmas, I'll rewatch Christmas-themed shows or movies. Or, like, during
Love
Halloween.
Hina! Woo!
Yeah. Or, like, during,
Hey, look, it's the creator of Love Hina.
Holy shit, it's Kanakamatsu!
Another example of the creator literally inserting himself.
That was very literally, yeah.
I don't know.
Energy
I just feel
Wednesday.
like if, especially with anime, if it's an artistic form, I feel like the show is supposed to just give you an impression once, and then you just let it go, and you say your thoughts on the show, and you move on to something else.
To respectfully rebuttal that statement, I would say that art is meant to be viewed multiple times, because if art was meant to be viewed once, then all the slight details of something wouldn't matter. As long as, for instance, you kill off the entire cast to the very end. Because if it's all about lasting impressions, then what's the point of character development then? You know, if you're just going to kill everyone off. I think that it's about re-experiencing things and not just, quote, leaving a lasting impression that makes art really important. But that is strictly my opinion and mine alone.
Well, that comes down to the debate of whether you watch it as an artistic piece or as an entertainment piece. Because
true.
there have been many animes where I just want to rewatch just because I'm in the fucking mood to watch something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
There's
Right.
some shows that there's just nothing comparable to it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why you guys would do that, but that's another reason why I would be afraid to, because I feel like, if I was to rewatch a show, like, the only thing I would think in the back of my head is, like, I could be watching something new and something similar to this. You know, I feel like, not that it's a waste of time, but I just feel like I could be doing something
No, that's
better
fair.
with my time.
that's fair.
And, like I said, if I am to rewatch anything, it's going to be season 1 of Higurashi. Just so I can see if I can change my mind on it.
Just so you can properly argue with Tristan. And
Yeah.
go, Tristan, this is a piece of butt, and
Right.
I've rewatched it, and I still think it's a piece of butt.
Butt.
You
Basically.
can go fuck yourself, Jeanne.
But that is, like, one show
In the
I
butt.
would consider. But,
But, more butts.
I don't know, I guess because
But-
I
All the
see
butts.
anime as an entertainment piece, not just it is an artistic form, but it's an artistic form of entertainment. So like you said before, Holden, it depends on how you view anime, if you view it in an artistic form or an entertainment form. Mainly it's for the entertainment, so I feel like what it's trying to show you should do its job with one viewing.
Yeah, and that's all your opinion. And I respect
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But, like, for instance, like,
But
what do you think, Garant? What do you think? Because I already said mine, so what do you think, Garant?
yeah, well, I think my opinion has changed over the many, many years I've been watching anime, and not just watching, reviewing as well. Because
Grandpa Garnt.
Shut up,
Oh,
Gene.
jeez.
I'm not even the oldest one here. You're older than me, Gene.
Tsundere, Grandpa.
Shut up. But you said in the many, many years that I've been watching anime and reviewing it.
In many, many years that I've
He has been watching it for a while.
anime.
Fucking Grandpa Garnt.
I think I
Continue.
might have been watching it for over a decade now. if I think
Jesus
about that.
Christ.
Shit.
Jesus fucking Christ. that just fucking hit me right now. Jesus fucking Christ. But as a reviewer, you kind of like, you guys know what I mean, where it's like, it's harder to just purely enjoy anime nowadays.
Oh, it's
Do you know
very
what
hard.
I mean? Because even if you're not reviewing a show, if it's not great, then you'll just have this constant reviewer mind, like fucking narrating over everything.
Yeah.
And it's hard to switch it off. And sometimes
I would argue that's almost impossible, yeah.
Yes. And sometimes when I'm watching a new show, or when I've seen something a million times before, I'm just like, I'd rather just rewatch the old show like this that I still have fond memories of, rather than just just this bland piece of crap that's new, but I don't really feel like watching now.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I think that I enjoyed Attack on Titan a lot more than other people, was because I knew I was not going to review it, because I knew that would be like the show to review. So I was like, oh.
Unlike me, who was just like, fuck, I can't not review this.
Right. And that's why I
Well,
chose
the thing
not
about
to.
Attack on Titan, I think it's more the hype and that changed a lot of people's opinion. Because whether you like it or not, hype does change opinions, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with
I would
that.
say it's definitely subconscious. What do you think, Tristan, about the act of rewatching?
I mean, Tristan does it a lot.
Tristan does it probably more than all of us.
Yeah.
Well, I don't...
How many times have you
The only time I
rewatched,
usually-
like, fucking Black Lagoon now?
Okay, Black Lagoon is fucking awesome.
Okay, so,
Okay,
so let's use that as an example.
Okay, to answer your question, for Black Lagoon, I have rewatched Black Lagoon seasons 1 and 2 3 times.
Fantastic.
And I've only ever seen Roberta's once, so yeah, that was cool. But I only rewatch a show when I want to show it to someone who hasn't seen it, or when I want to review it. Other than that, I don't go out of my way to rewatch it.
Okay.
That's fair.
All right. Well, that's very interesting, actually. So, why? Do you not do it just because you rewatch a lot of shows already for the other reasons, or because you don't see a reason to really rewatch it otherwise?
Well, a lot of the time it's because, when it comes to reviews, if I know I'm not going to be able to review it, or I don't have time, or I don't really want to review a particular show right now, I won't go out of my way to rewatch it, because I know that when I rewatch it, I'm going to want to do a review.
Right.
Because...
Tristan, don't lie to us. You do have time to review everything.
No, I don't. I really fucking don't. I am not lying. I do not have time to review everything. It's ridiculous.
Well, you have more time than us. All three of us put
Apparently,
Yeah.
I don't fucking know what you guys do with your time.
For reals.
For all I know, you just sit at home and masturbate. Go nuts. Yeah.
Leave a comment down below if that's what you do in your spare time.
together. Shout out to masturbation.
Oh my god. So interesting. But
think-
finish what you were saying, Tristan, because...
I can't even remember what I was saying. We got caught up in masturbation.
This is how guys' minds work. It's just like we could be in a really serious.
Look, I don't know what you're asking, Jeanne. Are you trying to make me say something, Jeanne, to help your argument here? Because I've said everything about rewatching a show that I can think of at the time. If I have a reason to rewatch it, I will. If I don't, I won't.
Yeah.
Okay, but is there a
Okay.
show ever that you've rewatched because you were showing it to someone, or because you were doing a review, and your opinion changed almost completely because of that second
No.
viewing? That's never happened.
Not completely. Like, there have been minor changes. Sometimes I like things more. Sometimes I like things a little less. But overall, my opinion remains the same. If anything, when it comes to watching something and liking it less, it's because I can appreciate what the work is. But there are some shows that just don't have rewatch value.
I mean, okay, here's one reason why I would rewatch something, and like I said, it would be it probably would be to review it as well, like me wanting to fucking shut you down with Higurashi, because I feel like I would get rid of my biased opinion if I was to rewatch a series. No,
think-
with any show, if I think a show,
Rewatching a show makes the individual more educated upon the source material. That's just how it is, because you're being exposed to it for a second time. Like, you've already experienced it more than a person who's watched it once, just because that's how numbers work. Like, 2 is greater than
Numbers
1.
work.
Like, that's it.
2 is greater than
Granted,
1.
people can understand things more than others, but like, maybe you'll find things out that you didn't catch the first time, like a conversation that, like, you missed the first time that apparently held the key to all your problems with the show. Like that might happen.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
When it comes down to subtle things, like when I rewatched Bakemonogatari to review it, and then when I watched it a third time in preparation for Nisemonogotari,
Oh my god.
I got so much more out of it because you learn so many.
Did you get a fucking headache as well?
No, I love it. I love that show. I love that show.
I can't imagine rewatching Bakemonogatari.
It's so different.
I literally cannot.
It's so different because in comparison to watching the newer stuff and Nisemonogatari especially, the tonal shift is just drastically different. It feels less fun, but it's still really enjoyable for me to watch. And there's something about it, especially the fact that it has Senju Gahara at her finest, in my opinion, is season 1. She's so well written, in my opinion.
I miss old Senju Gahara. I miss her so fucking much.
I love her. I think if you rewatched the first season, you'd realize just how much she has changed, especially her. Everyone else kind of the same. The only person who's really changed is Karen, but
yeah.
Aside from Karen, there's been some minor changes. With Tsubasa is more like flamboyant. I feel like not even flamboyant. I don't know how to describe her. She's more like fucking just goes with the flow now. She's just like, yeah, whatever. I'm the Tsubasa tiger. Don't even give a shit. That said,
I think okay, I want to go on a topic change. If that's complete topic
go
change,
for it.
if that's all right.
Yeah, do it.
Topic change.
Shit.
This is such a bad segue, guys. I said topic change.
Yeah.
But
Segue.
One major. I wanted to talk about one major piece of news that has come out recently.
Sure.
Oh, this
Major.
One major piece of news about Space Dandy.
I knew you were going to say Space Dandy. I knew it.
What
Space
other
Dandy.
fucking major piece of news has come out recently, Holden?
Fuck, I have no idea. Halloween makes kids fat. Well, I don't know. What other
And
studies
slutty.
are going on?
Holden has a boner.
Sorry? What did you say, Jeanne? Did anyone else get that?
Jean's laughing at herself. We'll cut that audio. Gar, what were you saying about Space Dandy?
So, I'm gonna see how long this. Jeanne, what the fuck did you
Jean,
say?
calm down.
Jeanne, calm down, Jeanne.
Jean, calm down.
Jean.
Calm down.
Gene.
Okay.
Gene.
We'll, I don't
Gene.
get it. Gar, keep it
Gene.
together.
Alright,
Uh,
anyway.
since
Just ignore
Jean's
her.
dying,
You'll hear that in the recording.
No, we won't. I'll fix that. I'll be sure to.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so for any of you who don't know, Space Dandy is a new anime coming out, being directed by Shinichiro Watanabe,
Yeah, Shinichiro
who also
Watanabe.
directed Cowboy Bebop.
Adolescence Upon an Incline, also known as
Fuck
Kids
yeah.
on the Slope, and yeah, Samurai Champloo.
And Samurai Champloo.
Yeah.
And that's not the major piece of news. The major piece of news is that Space Dandy will be airing on Toonami in America
Yes.
before it even airs in Japan. Not only that,
Which
it's
is
going to be
weird.
airing in English dub.
Yes.
It's
which
going to
is
be
even-
dubbed. Yes.
It's weird.
You know what this is good? You know what this really means? It's gonna continue to add on to the wonderful argument that sub enthusiasts like to make, saying the sub was the original and therefore is the
Oh my
better
god.
article.
This is really interesting because the dub would be the original.
I didn't even think about that.
And then you can argue, well, with Space Dandy, the dub was the original. It came first.
Holy shit. That's so weird. Then they would make an argument, it's like, what's intended? And I'm like, Shinichiro Watanabe makes a lot of Western shows for the Western audience. I mean, Cowboy Bebop failed in the East, and so he looked to the West as the saving grace, which we gladly accepted him as. And what's interesting about that, I think, Garn, is that I don't think I've ever heard of this. Maybe IGPX
No.
did this. I'm not 100%
But
certain.
the thing about IGPX is that it was kind of American produced or American funded.
Yeah, it had American funding with Cartoon Network, with production
With
IG.
Space Dandy, it was a
Bones.
complete Japanese anime by a Japanese company, by a Japanese director.
Bones, by the way. It's Bones.
Yeah, by Bones. Who was like, yeah, this is coming out in the winter season. Okay, that's fine. Or was it what was it the fall? I can't remember what fucking season we are in. But anyway, it was completely Japanese, and it just suddenly just became international. and that's literally unheard of.
Yeah, I had the closest thing I've heard to this is probably either Kuro Kami, which was released in English and Japanese simultaneously, I believe, as well as Gundam Unicorn, which is a simultaneous dub sub worldwide thing, and this is really weird. The closest, most comparable like advancement or news kind of thing related to it was like whenever we got simulcasts. Like that's like the only equivalent I can think of at the top of my head is like simulcasts was like, whoa, we're getting it at the same time, like an hour later. Like this is a fucking big deal. This kind of blows that out of the water in terms of really catering to an audience that is not Japanese.
It's kind of scary.
It's really...
Yeah, it kind of is, because what happens...
It's really weird.
It's weird, but like, we always... I can't speak.
It's like we always wanted this.
We always wanted this,
right.
isn't it? This is like what would happen in our dreams, where...
This is the like goal. This is the thing we aspired to.
Right.
This is...
Now what the fuck are we gonna do?
But the thing is, it could make it, or it could break it.
Life's over, dude. We've reached heaven. We've got it. We got everything we wanted. We're done.
It's like, now shut the fuck up, Americans.
We're done. Let's continue masturbating.
Just go back home and masturbate. Go.
It's like, we have nothing to aim for now.
It's apparently all our fans do anyway.
No, but I mean, I don't know. It's just still scary.
How is it scary? Explain your fear to me.
What if it doesn't do well? Like, what if
that's the fear, because I think the only thing that Space Dandy needs to do is not fail. Because even if it's not like a breakout Attack on Titan massive hit, which I don't think it will be.
Yeah.
I think
it says
as long
in the trailer though, so that's something.
Well, as long as it just does all right or just doesn't do badly, I think that will at least prove to Japanese companies that will say, okay, maybe international appeal is a viable option.
Yes.
The thing that I'm worried about when it comes to that, though, is it's going on Toonami. Toonami is far past its prime. I'm not, like, dissing Toonami at all right now, and I hope that Toonami gets a lot better than it currently is, including, fucking airing in Canada, you bastards. But I wonder, even if it is highly successful on Toonami, if that is still successful enough.
Right.
Like, what would quantify
other things?
I would say that, okay, Toonami, compared to its predecessor, isn't as popular as its predecessor, but I think that's mostly because of the time slots and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, its time slot is horrible.
You must admit that this Toonami revival has exceeded pretty much all expectations.
Yeah, it has. Nobody expected it to come back at all.
Yeah.
And then it was an April Fool's joke, and then everybody
and
was
it was
just like,
real, and then there was like a petition, and then it was like Steve Blum was just a beggar on the street, and then he wasn't. And there was a lot of weird shit going on that we were not sure of. And then it was here again, and then we got a new lineup, and then they dubbed Dead Man Wonderland.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of things going on at the same time.
Yeah,
and
it's going so well that I think, it's only going to be a matter of time before Attack on Titan goes on there.
Yeah.
Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Online. I was going to say, Aniplex just got all that. They got the dub and everything.
Nice.
I mean, it's doing 10 times better than
Western anime
imagined.
is really changing, which is weird thing about it, because I remember one of our first episodes ever, we was talking about the West, and the idea that even the fact that Japanese companies now have English subtitles on their releases shows that there's some interest in foreign markets or English-speaking people in Japan.
Well, actually, in that case, I wonder if putting English subtitles on the Japanese release is actually more detrimental in comparison to just hoping that there's an American company that wants to pay to license.
That's a good question.
I wonder which actually makes them more money. Do they make money in imports at all, or
is it just...
Is it better they get money for the license?
Well, when you get people like Holden that will spend $300 on a set, I mean...
Well, yeah, but Holden's like in the minority.
Yeah, he's like the 1%.
To be fair, Aniplex and people like that are trying to appeal to a minority of people. They're trying to get the people who are willing to spend copious amounts of money, because it's like, if one person buys this and 9 people don't, if we make the price of that one product make up for those 9 people who didn't buy it, then we've succeeded. And that's kind of what I feel like they're doing. Whereas Funimation's like, if we lower the prices so everyone buys it, then we make up for the fact that now we have enough of a profit because we had a wider margin of sales. And what's weird, okay, what really confuses me about Space Dandy is I'm wondering, first off, how much is it getting paid, if at all, by whatever dubbing company or licensing companies? I think Funimation licensed it, yeah.
Yeah, and
how much are they getting paid for this? If anything,
I do not
if
know.
they didn't come to it. And then my secondary question is, with that said, how will it airing on Toonami affect sales in the West? Because that's what I'm really interested in.
I think...
Did Dead Man Wonderland going on Toonami affect sales? Did Casshern Sins going on Toonami affect sales?
Those are both...
Has Soul Eater going on Toonami affected sales?
I don't know any of those answers, which is why I would love to find that out. Because I don't think those are publicly available. I don't think that...
I actually did... I remember seeing an article on this, and the measure that they used about how effective Toonami is in this day and age is they use Google searches, or I think it's Google Trends. Which
so interesting.
So what they did was they took Dead Man Wonderland and Casshern Sins and just looked at the Google searches.
Oh yes,
shows.
This is such a good way to figure out stuff. This is
And what happens was, you saw in the article, there was a fucking massive spike that continued on.
I remember this now.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a massive spike that continued on when it was airing. So I don't think you should discount the effect of television just yet. I mean,
yes.
Maybe not as many people are watching television, but in terms of like marketing and just basically spreading the word, I think television is still a great medium. Even if they don't watch it, they'll see it on. There's a show called Dead Man Wonderland.
It's a good way to recruit new viewers, basically.
Exactly.
Not the existing ones. So,
and I do know that Dead Man Wonderland did have a very large audience, because my review of it is like
really
somewhere in the top.
Right.
Yeah, it's really freaking popular because people actually know what the fuck it
Attack
is.
on Titan is... Well, what's interesting about Attack on Titan is that, it's really popular with people who didn't even know were anime fans, or I don't even think are. I think they just liked Attack on Titan a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
And with so much...
It's just one of those shows,
which
man.
I would say is also very Western focused. So with so many things being targeted more towards the West, what will that in turn cause Japanese producers to make? If you get what I'm saying,
more Westernish shows that will appeal more to the Western audience than like moe shows. I mean, unfortunately, would probably die out or get a lot less.
I don't think anime should change, though. I don't think it should change. I think it should just evolve.
Yeah, but I mean, we always knew
it shouldn't cater to the West. I would hate to see that, because that's
part
of what I like about anime is that it's not Western.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
I think that they should keep their integrity, is what I would say, and remain true to what they've been doing for years, but maybe make it more accessible to an international
You know what
audience.
I think can also play a part in the future? What
do you think?
What do you think?
Kickstarter, crowdfunding.
Kickstarter, yeah. This is like episode 3. I remember we talked about this because Kickheart. It was still in the funding stage when we last talked about Kickstarter. But yeah, definitely. I think that's a huge thing. I mean,
and then we had Little Witch Academia 2.
Well, you look at what we've had so far. Is we've had Kickheart, which was successful, fairly successful, and then we had Little Witch Academia, which is highly successful from what I'm gathering.
Which is like, what the fuck? We just blew the top off this thing for one episode.
And then, actually, more recently, guys, which I don't think any of you guys know about this, there's this thing called Bubblegum Crisis, an OVA series, and they're having a Blu-ray remaster and everything, and it was entirely funded through Kickstarter, yet again, which wouldn't be possible, I think, any other ways, because I don't think Bubblegum Crisis has a big enough audience to just be like, Bubblegum Crisis, Blu-ray, go fucking get it. It's interesting how it's taking the viewer and making them an active part of the production process.
Well, at the same time, the Kickstarter is very different than going about it normally. Because let's use Bubblegum Crisis as an example. If they wanted to, if they got the funds from somewhere to remaster and then re-release Bubblegum Crisis on DVD or the Blu-ray, and then it goes out onto the internet. Well, then there's a bunch of places out there like Amazon and everything that has to stock it.
Yeah.
And then there's like hundreds upon hundreds of copies that have to be made. And that's a lot of money. But when you just have a Kickstarter, all you need to do is make enough copies for whoever pledged enough.
Yes.
Beyond that, you don't need to make much.
It's true. And it's a double-edged sword.
So it's like Kickstarter itself has become a store-ish.
It's not a store. It's a casino. You're rolling your dice, hoping that what you get will be fucking amazing.
It's the casino that doesn't always win.
No, it doesn't always win.
It has its own economic.
I would say there's a lot of occurrences where Kickstarter has just fell flat on its face.
Sorry, Jeanne, what were you saying?
But
It
Yeah,
has
what were you
its
saying,
own,
Gene?
Kickstarter has its own economical system. It knows the supply and it knows the demand.
Well, yeah, because people pledge.
But that doesn't control the production itself. Like so many Kickstarters, because there's no promise. That's the thing. There's no like. It's a legal gray
There's no
area.
100% guarantee that
Yes.
what you give money for is what you're going to get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
It usually happens because usually there's a lot of really nice people, and I haven't actually pledged to a bad Kickstarter yet, and I've pledged to quite a few of them.
Yeah. Actually, Tristan, interesting question, okay? To
Yes.
you. Have you watched
Yeah.
Kick Arts?
No.
Fuck. Okay, so I watched it.
I see it on my shelf. It's still in its shrink
Okay,
wrap.
you should watch it
fucking-
because it was a really, really strange experience watching something that
I figure it will be. I've seen clips
Okay,
of it.
so like I won't say that I wasn't biased towards it, but it was weird because like you're watching it and you're thinking, I had a very small part in funding this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I not be happy with it, or should I?
It
be
was
happy
kind of
with it?
like it was the child
Well-
bringing home the shitty crayon drawing of the family, and you go,
Yeah.
"Hey, this is great."
That's going to be the thing when it comes to anime on Kickstarter, is that
Yeah.
you can only base it on the staff that makes it, rather than the product itself. Unlike everything else, where you're just like, oh, it's already existing. I could just judge it based on what it is. You can't do that with Kickstarter, because you never know what you're going to get. So there is a chance that if anime did go the Kickstarter route, that you would kickstart something, and then you don't necessarily like what you kickstarted when
Yeah.
it finally comes out.
Because that's never
But
happened to me before.
that's a risk.
Yeah, that is a risk because the only thing that we've had to put into a show is basically our time, because things
Yeah.
are being made and all we're
Well-
wasting is our basically
Generally, if you end up buying it for DVD before you watch it, you
That's
have
true.
to
A
put
blind
money
buy.
into
That's-
it to buy it.
That's true. That is a weird concept now that I think about it.
How do you guys watching this feel about the idea of funding something that you have not seen the final product of? Do you think that would affect necessarily what you think of it? Would you have like the parent effect almost, where because it's your creation, you have to love it?
I'm not gonna lie, because I felt so conflicted through Kickstarter, because I went into this go thinking, I've got to like this, I've got to like this, I've got to like this, I've got to like this.
No, you
So
don't. No,
I
you
don't.
don't.
I don't
No,
know.
you don't.
I don't know if
No, you
I actually
don't.
did or didn't. I mean, I would say I did like it, but I don't know if that's just because I'm highly biased or if it was a weird mindset. I think you should watch Kick Arts just to get what I'm getting.
I
at
think
here,
I think I should watch it as well.
So what does the audience think?
Yes.
Let us know in the comments.
In
in the
Well,
comments
read them.
down below.
Well, Holden will.
Yeah,
'Cause he
and with
fucking reads
all
everything.
that said, I think we should wrap up this episode of PodTaku. Thank you everyone for listening. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode as much as we have had making it. It's been a lot of fun, guys.
'Cause we always have fucking fun doing these.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hope you've missed
And-
the A-team.
Yeah, for real. We're all back
A-team.
in full effect.
18 for life.
And so, with that, we've had Tristan from Glass Reflection,
Stay frosty, everyone.
Jeanne from Anime Appraisal,
Alright, guys, and until next time.
Garant from the Anime Zone,
And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Yeah.
and I'm Holden from Holden
That's
Reviews.
what I'm saying.
Sayonara.
Yeah.
See you later.
Sayonara.
Bye.
See you later.
Seriously, Gene fucked that whole thing up.
Fucked what up?
The ending.
I did.
So, guys, can I go back to masturbating now?
Wait. Wait, our pants were supposed to be on?